It says, finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. See, there are all kinds of thoughts floating out in the world today, just like there are all kinds of radio and television signals. Right here in this sanctuary, we know there are literally hundreds of signals, radio signals, television signals. And when you get a receiver, you tune it in, you can hear what's going on. Now, what happens when you're listening to a radio program and you just don't want to hear that host anymore? What do? You change the channel. What if there's a song that you can't stand? What do? You change it. What if you're watching a television show that bores you? What do? Change the channel. So you notice we still do it this way. That's how I grew up in. But we change the channel. We get something else. But here's the problem. A lot of times when we may not realize our mind is like a radio station that we're tuning into, and we're having thoughts coming into us, and the thoughts are making us miserable. It's depressing us. We're thinking about how that person hurt us, or we're thinking about that tragic incident in our life, or we're thinking about what's currently happening that's really discouraging, robbing us of our hope and our faith and our love for others. And it's robbing. But you know what we unfortunately don't do? We don't change the channel. We stay on. What channel are you tuning into? Hello, this is Negative Station 101. Some of you are just negative thoughts. Good morning, this is Pessimistic Radio 96.6. What are you listening to? The Doubt Network? I'm here to tell you, just like you change the channel, you're going to have to change the channel in your thinking and quit dwelling on the thoughts that are robbing you of your hope and your faith and bringing you bitterness and just pain. You need to start changing the channel. Can we all do this for a moment? Just change the channel. Some of you young kids, whatever. Right? But change the thoughts that you've been tuning into. What are you tuning in? I don't know about you. You know what radio station I'm tuning into? I'm tuning into WORD. I'm tuning into the Word station. I'm turning into the Word Network. So when someone does me wrong, I don't tune into the country station. When somebody does you wrong, if they could all sing like me, all of those stations would be shut down right away. But instead of dwelling, that person hurt me, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get even. I'm just going to... No, what you got to do is turn into the Word station and say, you know what, I'm going to forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Somebody said, well, I'm not going to forgive him. He didn't apologize. Well, when did Jesus ask for apology at the cross? Mr. Soldier, are you really sorry? No? Could you check with Caesar if he's really upset, Pilate, if he shouldn't have done this to me? No. He said, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they do. See, and a lot of times, though, we start dwelling on past hurts and what people have done to us and instead of tuning into the Word Network, What happens when you've blown it and you made a terrible decision and now you're paying for it? What do? Well, I guess the best is in the past now. I guess I have to have plan B of God. Wrong. You need to tune into 1 John 1:9. God says, I will be faithful and just to forgive you if you just confess it. Just let me know that you did wrong and you'll be forgiven. As far as the east is from the west, I'll remove your transgression from you. You need to tune into that. See, and receive the forgiveness. Here he says, you need to think about such things. What things? There's nothing on this list that is negative. Everything is positive on this list. So you need to think about that. One of the great revelations I've received when I was a new believer is that I have the power to choose my thoughts. You ever think about it? We have the power to choose our thoughts. We're not like animals. I don't think animals, they live on instinct and they don't have the power to say, you know what? A lion doesn't look at the zebra and say, I'm going to let you go. No, it just goes with the flow. If it's hungry, it eats the zebra. It doesn't think anything about it, but we have the power to let the zebra go. We have the power to choose our thoughts because we're made in the image of God, and God himself is a God with a will. And he's given us a free will to choose what we think about. See, I think most people, they don't even realize that they can choose their thoughts. They just kind of think that thoughts come and maybe they're going through something and they think certain thoughts and they think, well, that's normal. I know this is negative, but, what am I supposed to do? You're supposed to change your thoughts. But see, most people don't realize they're supposed to change their thoughts. You are accountable for the thoughts you are thinking. Jesus said it in another way. He said, take heed what you hear. He said, be careful what you let get inside of you. Why? Because what gets inside of us changes our life. Look here in Philippians 4:6. Back up a couple of verses. Verse 6, it says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. Now, what produces anxiety? He said, don't be anxious about anything. What produces anxiety? It's our thoughts. We're thinking on something negative. Well, we don't have enough money to pay this bill. We're having real marital problems. My kids are having difficulty in school. I just don't have enough money for this. The doctors have told me that I'm not going to get better. And see, what happens? We get anxious because we're thinking about something negative. He tells you, do not be anxious about anything, but do something about it. What is it? Present your request to God. Ask God to meet the need that's making you anxious. Replace it. So this is telling me I can control my thoughts. But notice the next verse, verse 7. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard. Can y'all say guard? Will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Did you know your heart has to be guarded? See, and you have to recognize the enemy is trying to work on planting negative thoughts, thoughts of fear, thoughts of resentment, thoughts of lust, thoughts of greed. He's trying to put thoughts in your mind, and you have to guard it, protect your thoughts. See, and so most of us never think that our minds are places where the enemy will try to attack us, but it is. He's trying to hit your thought life, because if he can control your thoughts, he can control your actions. I love what I heard Joyce Myers once said. She said, think about what you're thinking about. Isn't that powerful? Take time to think about what you're thinking about. What are you thinking about? Pastor, I'm a man. I don't think much. Think about what you're thinking about. And then if what you're thinking about is bringing anxiety, is bringing negative thoughts, then stop thinking about it. Change the channel. Take the remote and change it. It kind of reminds me of a woman who went shopping by herself because her husband didn't want to go. And when she was ready to purchase the item, she opened up her purse and there was the remote control. The clerk says, excuse me, ma'am, do you usually carry the remote control with you? She said, no, my husband refused to come, so I figured, what's the meanest thing I can do legally? Now, I got news for you. No one is holding the remote control but you. Oh, my wife, she's the one making me do this. No, she's not. You have the remote control. You have the power to choose the thoughts you're thinking about. And what we have to do is when we don't like our thoughts, change the channel, change the thoughts. Quit dwelling on those things. So think about what you're thinking about. Now, listen, I'm aware that none of us are going to have good thoughts, or I should say this, 100% good thoughts 24/7. All of us will get a negative thought here and there. I like what Brother Hagin used to say. You can't stop birds from flying over your head, but you can stop them from laying a nest in your hair.